Welcome for round 2 of Fostering Big Ideas and Engineering Tomorrow. So today's session is called From Idea to Reality. Last time was more of a didactic lecture on innovation, theories that underlie big ideas, how they've come about. And today we're going to put our money where our mouths are, because today we're going to work on turning ideas into reality. I'm Dr. Shawna Pandya, currently a neurosurgery resident here at the University of Alberta. And I've been teaching this course, or some sessions in this course, for about 4 years now, 5 years maybe. And basically I also have a background in entrepreneurship. I've previously founded a company called Civigard, based on disaster response technologies, aiming to make emergency communications better. And I have a background in the space world as well, having carried out research at NASA and the Canadian Space Agency. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about making things better. So this is a recap from last time. We talked about the Heinz ketchup bottle problem. Does everyone here remember that? Basically, it was me ranting about my beef with ketchup bottles, in that the material in the design of the bottle doesn't allow you to access the full amount of product inside. And so the team at MIT Media Labs took it one step further and designed an entirely new bottle material that is not cohesive with ketchup, mayonnaise, condiments in general, and allows material to flow totally out. I won't re-show you that video, but I'll show you another video, also repurposing and redesigning the bottle. If you remember last time, we ended our talk with asking why innovate, and the bottom line is to make things better. So basically the problem in rural villages, in the slums, in poor countries, in this case in the Philippines, is that people can't afford electricity during the day, partially due to the costs and partially due to overheating of their little domiciles. So you'll see that in the poorest of the poor, they live in under corrugated tin roofs and under tarps, and they really don't have a good solution, a good, easy, cheap solution to heating or to lighting up their houses. It's taking an idea as simple as a pop bottle. When we talk about innovation, we don't necessarily mean high tech. You don't need to create the next Google. Someone took a pop bottle and said, using the principle of refraction, why don't we just use that as an alternate light source? And you can see here that the light here generated is adequate enough to light the inside of a hut. And so this is the kind of mindset we're talking about and that we're going to focus on developing today. Just going to give you a breakdown of the workshop today. The first part is all about you. So we're going to work on getting to know each other, getting into icebreakers, talking to each other. And I want you to get really comfortable with each other, because ultimately we're going to finish the rest of the session working off in teams. So we're going to talk about people, then we're going to talk about ideas and idea generation, and that part of the workshop is going to focus entirely on creating ideas. We're not going for high-level Nobel Prize contending ideas. We're just going for volume and idea generation and focusing on the process of generating and ideas and brainstorming. And then lastly, we're going to focus on how do you go from here to there? How do you take that $1 million, $1 billion idea, the next Facebook that you've been festering on for years, and how do you take that first step and bring it into reality? And then we're going to take your best ideas and we're going to build a company today, all in the space of an hour. My aims are, I want you to walk out of here today with a better understanding of brainstorming, how to think differently, how to reshape your perception, and how to ask questions. And we focused a little bit on that last session when we talked about asking what-if questions or big questions. And then I want you to have a sense that you have more of an idea of how to go from idea to reality when you walk out of here. Okay, so for the first 12 to 15 minutes, we're going to focus on each other. So we're going to pass out Post-it notes and writing utensils. And I want you to write down 3 bullet points, so 1, 2, 3, and at the top, talk to me about. And then you're going to mingle with each other, and you're going to look at your partner's list and then ask them about something on that list, and you're going to have a 2-minute conversation, and then every 2 to 3 minutes we're going to switch, and then we're just going to get to know each other a little bit, okay?
Start. So I think well, no, it's separate. It's a separate book, right? So this is. It's to me, it's like the best position for that.
All right, so did that feel good to kind of get to know the person sitting next to you, around you, more than just as your classmate? Did that feel a little bit unfinished, like you wanted to keep going with your conversation? Kind of? No, you guys are done talking to each other? All right, so I kind of want to know more about you as well. So, and there's some new faces from Tuesday. So we're just going to go around, quickly tell me your name, your program, and then something you learned throughout one of your conversations. Okay, we'll start up front.
My name is Sina. I'm in neuroscience honors. And something I learned is Jenny, she likes puppies.
Hello, my name's Igor. I'm in pharmacology. And what I learned is Jenny has a lot of siblings.
Yeah, just pass it back.
I'm Earl. I'm in family medicine, and I really don't know what I know. I just come here and teach once in a while. That's all I know.
Welcome.
I'm Patricia. I'm in neuro, and I learned out of all the 3 people I talked to, they all had traveling as their first thing.
They all put traveling? That's great.
I am Seraphine Twagirimana. I am Rhinopathology Fellow. So I learn a lot about everybody here. So.
My name is Ranja. I'm in dietetics, and I learned that Igor found that the 3D printing lecture was the most interesting one so far. Yeah.
I'm Jenny, and I'm also in neuroscience. So I learned that Sina made an app over the summer that features the brain, and it's 3D, so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
My name's Brienne. I'm in psychology, and I learned that Patricia was born in Romania.
Now that we kind of know each other a little bit, we're going to get into small groups of 5. Don't worry about that just yet. And over the next 25 minutes, 20 minutes or so, we're going to work on idea generation. And so we're going to follow IDEO rules. So this is a design firm that is known worldwide, and I've totally stolen the rules, and I'm crediting them. So we're going to defer judgment. Our goal here is volume, not specifics, not quality, really fleshed out finished products. We want you to go and build a rapport with each other, and that's what the first part of this workshop was designed to do. We want you to build on each other's ideas, and to do that you'll need to stay focused and hold one conversation at a time. So resist the temptation to break off into side conversations. Myself and Kim will be wandering amongst you and keeping you on track, and also being flies on the wall. Be visual, so if you have an idea that you can't quite express in words, like the next generation flying motorcycle, please feel free to draw it. Stick figures will not be judged harshly. And go for quantity. So sometimes there's confusion about what I mean by quantity. So once you're in your groups, we're going to distribute these poster boards, and I don't want to see any white space on these by the end of it. Your job is to cover it completely and utterly with post-it notes, which will also pass out. All right, so please go ahead and redistribute yourselves into groups of 5, and we'll pass out the materials, okay?
So not needing to sleep. That was about context isn't
Anybody who lives in this town or drives.
And I want you to spend the next part of this class picking one of these topics. Don't spend too much time on it. Don't agonize over it. The goal here is just to pick a topic and then brainstorm around it. So your 5 choices, I want you to pick one. Things that really should exist but don't yet. Pet peeves, things that you really, really hate, like minus 40-degree weather, for example. The greatest challenges in the world. The greatest trends and technologies in our times today. We talked a little bit about this last class, big data, 3D printing. And then ways to impact 10 people, 100 people, 10,000 people, 1 million people. Positively impact, I should say. It's pretty easy to negatively impact people. Now we're going to build a company in the 30 minutes that remain to us. So I want you to pick your wildest, craziest idea from all those ideas you've put down on paper, and we're going to build a business. So don't worry if it can exist or not in today's world. Don't worry if it defies the laws of physics or not. Maybe worry if it defies the law. And I want you to answer these questions. What is your idea? Tell me what you're selling. What does it need? What need does it serve, and who's going to buy it? Who's going to use it? Remember that those things aren't necessarily the same thing, because kids use toys, but parents are the ones who buy them. How are you going to make money? What threats and hurdles do you face? Who can help you? What is your product or your company called? Do you have a logo? That's more if you have time at the end. And then what is that first step you need to take today to make progress on your idea? Or, as I like to call it, business plan Mad Libs. So, the other way you can frame your company is that Company X we have created, fill in your product name and description, because of Problem X, designed for this user. It will appeal to this buyer because of this value add, and we'll anticipate these hurdles and overcome them by this mitigation strategy. Some of our strengths include, and I want you to describe your assets and your networks, and then tell me how you're going to make money with your business model. And then lastly, the first step we need to take today to achieve this goal is, and your action plan.
Well, yes, we have the company that everybody is going to want to invest in. It's Hunger No More. This is designer foods that will totally eliminate hunger from the world. Okay, so give us some of the great stuff.
Who wants to go first? I don't know. I was the writer.
So basically this is, it uses a device to scan your taste buds and personalize your food for you based on your taste buds. So this is like the perfect food that you can have. And it uses 3D printing basically to create artificial food. Again, personalized for each person. And so essentially we're eliminating world hunger as well as obesity, because it's the calories in the food is personalized for your needs.
So we decided we're going to be funded by rich people and Dr. Solis for our project. Some problems we might encounter, I can't, is flavor and transportation of the food. And we decided to make it a local production and have machines. We'd have problems probably with the unions of fishermen and farmers, and we thought we'd buy them out with all the money we were going to get.
There's not much else to say. We have our little logo right here. He's eating an apple, saying yum. I guess our plan of action is just to advertise well, and hopefully it'll catch on.
Well done. Yay. So that's brilliant, if not a little callous by trying to buy everyone out, but I like the concept. So what about turning your competitors into your collaborators? Why not using the trout farmer to buy his trout and then enhance it and then give the farmer some of the shares so they don't burn down your factories later?
So like collaborate with, say, the other food providers?
Yeah, instead of buying them out, so they'll have jobs and not be the homeless hungry that
we didn't think of that. We were just thinking.
Okay, all right.
That's a good idea, though. It's really good.
Perfect. All right, well done, you guys. Any questions over here? Sorry, what was the question?
So we were just going to make it really nutritious, so everyone has all their vitamins and carbs and proteins and fats.
Basically, right? That's our ideal goal.
Do you think people might be put off by having the perfect meal every single time and eventually get sick of it? They might want to just taste something horrendous.
We'd also alter the taste to cravings.
Okay.
So it could be really tasty and really nutritious at the same time.
Very good. All right, you guys. Well done.
Hello. So our company is the Cool Kids, and we're coming up with a very innovative product called Ice Ice Beery, and it's a product that keeps your beer cold. So the positives are pretty self-explanatory. Nobody likes to drink cold beer or warm beer. Everybody likes to drink cold beer. And so this product is to eliminate your warm beer drinking problems.
Okay, so one of the hurdles that we anticipate is to get government and the FDA approval of it. But we plan to have real science research, and it will be no problem.
All right, so we'd make money with this product selling it to some of the large breweries. So we'd hit Anheuser-Busch and different companies like that. The first step we'd need to take in order to achieve this goal would be to actually patent the product. And patent the product and actually get investors through angel investing and other sources like that to actually develop the product, set up a plant, and actually start producing.
Okay, so how our product works is we're going to add a powder, and it's going to take into account the carbon dioxide content of it, and essentially it's going to undergo an endothermic reaction, and all of the heat from the beer will be sucked up and the beer will remain cold. So that's our product.
That's really good, actually. I really like how you actually used perfect science to create an endothermic reaction. In terms of hurdles and competition, you're competing against ice cubes, which have FDA approval and are probably cheaper than an endothermic reaction and are necessarily not carcinogenic. So how do you anticipate overcoming that hurdle?
When was the last time you saw someone put an ice cube in their beer?
Touché. All right. Any questions from you guys?
Yes, correct.
What was the question?
If we're making money off the companies we sell it to. Okay, so if you're a restaurant or a beer drinker and one of these companies decides, hey, I'm going to get this product so your beer's always cold, as a consumer, you're going to gravitate toward that product because then it's no longer your concern, essentially putting all other beer companies that don't use our product out of business.
So why think differently? Because I think there's potential in everything and everyone. And so this is a lamp. Yes, it is, but no, it isn't. It's actually just a bunch of spoons that have been glued onto a light bulb, but it's still pretty interesting. And there's potential in every person. So we talked about some of these examples last class. We talked about Jack Andraka, the 15-year-old who created a new carbon nanotubule-based pancreatic cancer detection method. Some other examples here, Betty Williams, she was a receptionist in the 70s who was absolutely appalled by the civil strife in Ireland that led to the deaths of innocent children, and campaigned in a time before social media, before things could easily go viral, and campaigned to the point of reaching hundreds of thousands of people, and won the Nobel Prize that year for saying, you know, we can't let strife lead to violence and have civilian collateral damage as a result. So those are just some examples. And the whole point of these 2 days of exercises was to make you realize that if you have something that you've wanted to enact for a while, it's going to be a lot of work. We won't sugarcoat that, but it's sometimes as simple as asking questions, reshifting your thinking, finding people, and starting with that first step. So that's it from me. I'm going to leave you with some resources that I've found very helpful in the past. So Edmonton is very quickly, in the past 5-6 years, is starting to become a very good place to be an entrepreneur. On campus, we have resources like ABC or AB Campus Tech. We have eHub. We have the Startup Edmonton located downtown, and they offer intro courses to coding, to building a business, to incubating your idea. I found out, I was at a hackathon on Saturday, that the Edmonton Public Library allows the inner geek in everyone to be taught to play around with hardware like Raspberry Pi, Arduino, Makey. So if you are a closet inventor, now is your time. All right, so thank you very much. My email's up there if you have any questions, and that's class.